Welcome to the lecture 10 of Inside PC Core Components. Today's topic is System Controller, BIOS, CMOS, Chipset. Starting with System Controller, System Controller is nothing but it is called as card or microchips or separate hardware devices that are used to control peripheral device. For examples, graphic cards. It is actually a system controller, or it is also known as graphical controller, which is having a video RAM, video controller, and it is having provision to convert digital to analog signals from digital to analog. Also, second example is grain controller. For example, S-Box, or you can say PlayStations. They are game controller. Flash controller. They are these types of controller is a part of flash memory which communicates with host device and manages flash file directory. Flash memory is nothing but it is a type of external memory device. Next is BIOS, that is basic input output system. It is a software that is stored on a small chip on the motherboard, and it is also responsible for post and therefore makes it the very first software to run when the computer is started. When your computer gets start, then BIOS will direct the execution towards post, and post is the first program that is running when your computer is on. So BIOS is a firmware and is a non-volatile, and meaning that its settings are saved and recoverable even after power has been removed from the device. Means whenever you are switching off your computer, then the settings like date, time, and status of the whole system is saved in the BIOS, and it is saving even though your PC is turned off and it is getting power from the CMOS battery. Now, what is BIOS used for? BIOS instruct the computer on how to perform basic functions such as booting and keyboard control. BIOS means it is you can say it is the basic it is the basic software which is situating at the very basic level so that it can control all the hardware like floppy drive, optical drive, CPU memory, etc., and any other peripheral device. Whenever you start your computer, your BIOS, what BIOS does, it identifies and configures all the hardware and external peripheral devices in the computer when it has start booting process. So now how to access BIOS? The BIOS are accessed and configured through the BIOS setup utility. Means whenever you are installing your computer, any operating system, at that time when Windows opens, which asks about what kind of partition you want, how many drives you want, what if you want to change date or time, or how much memory you want to use for any all the peripheral devices. Likewise, these kind of entries, or you can say these kind of properties is being asked when you are installing your operating system on that window, and that window is known as BIOS setup utility. And how BIOS is installed? BIOS is installed when at the moment the machine is manufactured. It is an integral part of your computer and comes with it when you bring it home. Means you can install operating system, but you cannot install BIOS because it is an integral part of your computer system. When you start your computer, microprocessor starts. Microprocessor passes its control to the BIOS program, and BIOS program just diverts it to the post, and post is the first program that runs when your computer is started, and BIOS program is located on the EEPROM. Now, what are the functions of BIOS? Four functions are there: post, bootstrap loader, BIOS drivers, BIOS or CMOS setup. First of all, what is post? Post is the power on self test. It is the test that the computer hardware has to pass compulsorily. Means if the computer passes this test, then it shows that there is no error. If it shows that there is no error, then operating system will start loading. But if it shows that there is some error, then operating system will not load. So post is the first function which tests the computer whether it is able to perform each and every task between all hardware and peripheral devices and the processor. Means all peripheral devices are ready and they are in working state, and there is no error in connection, there is no error in their function, then the computer system will pass, and the post test is successful. Now next is bootstrap loader. As post is the first program that is running while your computer is started, bootstrap loader is another program that is started when your operating system is loaded. So that is also a function of BIOS. It controls whole operating system. Means when a bootstrap loader is loaded, or it is in working condition, or you can say it is in execution mode, or you can say it is in processing mode, and that at that time your operating system will start load. Now next is BIOS drivers. These are low level drivers that give computer basic operational control over your computer hardware. Means whatever peripheral device or any external device you are adding to your system, then BIOS drivers are needed to be installed. For example, if you want to add printer, then there are drivers. Those drivers are added to the computer, so that your computer will be configurable to run the printer, so that it can do the printouts. So for each and every peripheral device there is a driver, and these drivers are known as BIOS drivers. So they are changing the BIOS settings whenever you are installing or uninstalling any external peripheral device. So BIOS system is getting configured, or you can say it changes, or you can say it is matching to the configuration of the computer. Second is BIOS or CMOS setup. It is a configuration program that allows you to configure hardware setting, including system settings such as password, time and date. So in this you can see the overall briefing of the functions of BIOS. You can see the CMOS setup, power on self-test, low-level routines, bootstrap loader. This is nothing but this is post. That is bootstrap loader. This is BIOS setup, or you can say CMOS setup, and this is low-level routines. It is also known as BIOS drivers. BIOS interaction. BIOS are interface between software and hardware that allows software and hardware to communicate and to interact with each other. The BIOS is made up of everything that allows software and hardware to interact with each other. While you may think that BIOS only exists in the form of motherboard, BIOS means you think that BIOS only exists on the motherboard, but actually it is a combination of motherboard BIOS, the BIOS of all add-on cards in the same system as well as their device drivers. Means BIOS is not only the motherboard BIOS, but it is the BIOS of all add-on cards in the system and as well as their device drivers. The motherboard BIOS is the most important component of the BIOS layer. This is because it contains all the software needed to the computer to get started. Why it is very much important? Because it has everything that is needed to get start the computer. It also comes with the basic diagnostics and configuration utilities, right? So any problems that comes while running the computer or while starting the computer, the whatever error will come, the diagnostic of that error is there, and if any external driver, any external device that needs driver, so for that configuration utilities are there. So now let's look at this figure. You can see here a computer system has three separate layers that communicate with each other through different interfaces. Okay. In this layered system, the application is the highest level. You can see this. It is the highest level. It cannot directly interact with hardware. Okay, it can only interact with operating system with the help of API, that is application program interface. Now what is API? API is the set of common functions that the application calls upon to get the operating system to do what it wants. Because the API is operating system specific. It differs from operating system to operating system. If there are different types of operating system, for example Windows, iOS, then also that Linux, then API will differ from operating system to operating system. So all these operating system will have different APIs. However, irrespective of operating system, API allows the application to get the job done without knowing how operating system does it. This API does not know how operating system is doing the job. Whatever job is coming from application to API, API just knows that job will be going to complete, but how operating system is going to complete that API does not know. Now the application doesn't need to know anything about computer's hardware. Application do not know what kind of hardware is there, means it, and also there is no need that application should know what kind of hardware is available. Okay. Now the operating system then communicates with the BIOS, what it needs to carry out the application's request. Okay, so whatever application is coming to operating system with the help of API, so operating system will transfer it to BIOS. Whatever the request the application is doing, the operating system never communicates directly with the hardware. Okay, now the BIOS layer allows the operating system to support all manners of hardware. Each piece of hardware comes with its own BIOS or a driver which become part of system's BIOS. Means if you are purchasing any kind of extra peripheral device or external device, if you are connecting that device to the computer, then it is having driver. So you need to configure that driver on your computer system. So you can also say that these drivers are nothing but they are BIOS of that particular device. Therefore, the BIOS layer is dynamic and changes to match the computer's hardware configuration. Means if you want to change do any change in the computer, or you want to upgrade your system, then the BIOS will also change. BIOS will change why? To match the configuration of the computer system. For example, if you are having RAM, if your system is having RAM of 256 MB, but you want to convert it into 1 GB RAM. So before the entry of BIOS will be like 256 MB RAM. But when you are upgrading your system with the RAM of 1 GB, then it has to show that the RAM available is 1 GB. So to upgrade your RAM, BIOS also there is a need to change the entries in BIOS. So BIOS will also change to match the configuration of operating system. The operating system only needs to know how to communicate with the BIOS layer. It is up to the BIOS layer to translate that operating system commands into the action by the hardware. Whatever, uh, whatever request, or you can say communication, or you can say any kind of order that is given by operating system to communicate with the hardware, then it just give commands to BIOS interface. Then it is up to BIOS interface how to make any hardware to work. Okay, so you can in short we can say that application will send command to operating system, API will translate for application and give command to operating system give command to hardware with the help of BIOS interface. It cannot directly give commands to hardware. It give commands to BIOS interface, and BIOS interface will translate each and every command, and then it allows or it makes each and every hardware to work according to the request of operating system. So now one more thing, without the BIOS layer, there is no way that operating system can access the hardware layer. Means if BIOS interface is not there, then there is no other way. Means who will translate the commands to hardware commands? Hardware that commands that hardware is able to understand. That's why a BIOS layer is very important in the computer system. CMOS. CMOS RAM, or short form for CMOS is the short form for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. CMOS is an on-board semiconductor chip powered by the CMOS battery inside the computer that stores information such as system time and date and the system hardware settings for your computer. This picture shows an example of the most common CMOS coin battery used in the computer to power the CMOS memory. Okay, so this is nothing but it is a CMOS battery that gives power to the CMOS memory. Now again, one more thing written here is, it is a type of metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor fabrication process that uses complementary and symmetrical pair of p-type and n-type MOSFETs for the logic functions. In CMOS is using p-type and n-type MOSFET, that is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Why? To set the logic, or to make this CMOS work with the help of logic functions. So this is also known as CMOS coin cell battery. Okay, now starting with the chipset. Now what is actually a chipset? It is nothing but it is an electronic circuit whose job is to coordinate data transfer between various components of the computer system. As the chipset is integrated into motherboard, it refers to a group of integrated circuits or chips that are designed to work together. A chipset controls the system bus structure and facilitates the movement of data and instruction between the processor, cache memory, internal and external peripheral devices. In short, chipset is used to transfer data and instruction between processor, cache memory, and internal and external peripheral devices. Now there are two main chips in the chipset. First one is North Bridge and second one is South Bridge. North Bridge is also known as memory control hub and South Bridge is also known as input output control hub, or you can say IO control hub. The North Bridge is in charge of controlling transfers between the processor, here it is shown CPU, then RAM and PCIe. Okay, that's why the North Bridge is kept near processor because it is in charge of controlling transfers between CPU or you can say processor and the RAM. The North Bridge links the CPU to very high speed devices, especially main memory and graphics controllers. Okay, so PCIe is for graphics. Now starting with South Bridge. South Bridge is also known as IO controller or expansion controller hub, which handles communication between slower peripheral devices. It is also called the ICH, that is IO controller hub. The term bridge is generally used to mean that it connects with the two mainlands. Means for example, if any bridge is there between two lands on the river, then that's why it is known as bridge. Means it is a structure on the river between the two lands. That's why the name is bridge. And here the term bridge is generally used to designate a component which connects two buses. Means this bridge is connecting bus from CPU, graphics and RAM. And this chip is connecting bus from PCI, USB, ISA, IDE, BIOS, legacy. These are slower devices and these are high speed devices. So these chips are nothing but it is a bridge between all these slower peripheral devices and high speed main devices. So in many modern chipsets, the South Bridge actually contains some on-chip integrated peripherals such as Ethernet, USB and audio devices. They are coming mounted on the mounted with on-chip integrated circuit integrated peripherals like Ethernet, USB and audio devices.